everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the doctor's trial.
The doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial. I never thought I'd see you here again. Why are you still free?
Dr. Honor made sure that I was set free. He needed my help. What do you want?
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Honor to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
So? What is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor. Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
I would like to say no. You had me thrown in prison, and without Dr. Honor's intervention, I would still be there. But I can't stop thinking about what we did in that laboratory. I think only by testifying will I ease my conscience.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness. Dr.
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the Governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
I took a look at a few pages of your research. I was very impressed.
Really? You're very kind. But these are the leads we had to abandon.
Due to pressure from Dr. Asili, if I've understood correctly.
Indeed. According to him, focusing on the reasons behind the contamination was a waste of time. All that mattered was the cure.
And you want to defend him? How many promising leads did you give up to please him? Why continue to serve him when you could finally gain your independence?
You are not wrong. Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
Sade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Do you often hold strangers at gunpoint?
Only when I'm being tracked. What about you?
Only when they're attractive.
Really? And anything else?
What did you think about that moment next to the campfire with the elders of Vigi?
It was strange.
Had those old sages not been there?
Oh, you are really strange. Anything else?
Did you have any fellow students?
Of course. It was more of a
Did you not share your knowledge?
Not really. You would not believe how...
I think it's a pity.
That is true, but I did anything else.
How did you feel when we visited the...
Astonishment, I think. It was...
It could have been a perfect moment.
Is that really the... I'm starting to think that anything else.
I would like you to tell me about...
I was
Were you aware?
in part.
Why not say that?
Because I never thought... I found his... He spoke of them, but there was...
You do know that.
Yes. I was blind.
Do you think, as you...
No, without to...
In your opinion...
No. He want... I hope...
Would you be willing...
I want... And even...
Do you think that
Yes. This ritual... This new vision...
Knowledge comes in many forms.
That is true. I love exploring. And yet, you'd have to have experienced anything else.
Where do you come from, Afra?
From my parents. I was always... For this reason.
What do you think of the love that unites...
It's true. On the continent...
Do you ever think that you could become that?
To be honest, no.
What about now?
I do not like to lose, but for some time, anything else.
I must leave you.
Karans, do you need something?
How did you know that those... After all...
I knew my mother.
I think I understand. Your island...
Exactly. Without these, I am happy. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're when we were little,
I have no trouble believing it.
gentler. Really? The lions, anything else?
What do you intend to do now?
I will most likely do it.
I'm certain that I still have a lot more to...
Discovering and learning are two, and you have to be certain of your own superior. Anything else?
I must leave you.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy.
Hey! You are the Olol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
I believe our investigation is coming to an end. Let's find the prosecutor.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
A Naut victim of Dr. Asilia.
Excellent.
The islanders will test them.
Indeed.
I managed to convince the scientists.
Excellent.
I even got a testimony.
Perfect.
Afra, one of Dr. Asilia.
Excellent.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the lab. Apparently, it seems there's enough here to...
A terrifying... You have gathered... I think we can go to...
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend. However, I'm sure the governor will keep you informed of the outcome of the proceedings.
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Sir de Sade. The evidence he supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very well change the course of history.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hands? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Sir de Corsilion.
Decidez, my young student.
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Let's see. Oh, this is remarkable work. You explored the entire surface of the island. Well, almost. Congratulations. Thanks to you, our merchants and explorers will be the principal sure. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I found no traces of Professor Seraphedin yet.
That's most regrettable. Can your old
Looking forward... Constantine.
My dear cousin, I'm always happy to see you. What news do you bring?
We managed to solve the problem of the attacks on San Mateus.
Really? So, what was causing them?
The city and its outposts were continuously being attacked by animals. These beasts were led by a large creature that strangely resembled a mountain guardian.
This is the same creature which High King Vinbar turned into, isn't it?
Exactly. Except it looked sick and it didn't act like the High King did. It was calling the animals around it, and it seemed like it was transferring its disease to them before making them attack. I have never seen anything like it. And there's more. Hikmet was in a similar situation. Do you remember?
Of course. Don't tell me that a Guardian was involved there as well.
Yes. The governor was convinced that the attacks were led by the islanders. And yet they were being attacked as well. And it was by their side that I fought the creature. That time it was a Nardai Glenderman, a beach guardian. But it seemed just as sick. And it was also manipulating the animals to make them aggressive.
So, it would be some kind of epidemic affecting the Guardians. I don't see what we can do about it. Actually, I think you have already done what had to be done, by eliminating those that were threatening our neighbors.
Perhaps. But I'm certain there's more to it than a simple epidemic. These beasts attack in a coordinated fashion, which requires an intelligence that they don't have.
You're exaggerating, dear cousin. The attacks you thought were coordinated may just have been coincidental.
You may be right. But I can't help thinking that someone is behind all this.
Do you really believe that a Denegad would want to take over the island? Cousin, you know how much I respect you, but frankly, this doesn't seem very coherent. But I see it's already quite late. If you'll excuse me, dear cousin. Regrettably, I must leave you.
Where are you going?
Not very far, rest assured. But I have a small personal matter to take care of, you see. Don't be concerned. There's absolutely no risk. Use the opportunity to take some rest. You've really performed miracles recently. See you later.
But why would he leave like that? Guard, do you know where my cousin is going?
Sorry, Your Excellency. His Highness didn't tell me anything.
You are one of his bodyguards, aren't you?
I am, Your Excellency. But recently it has been difficult to force His Highness to accept our presence.
Recently? You mean this isn't the first time he's left without an escort?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency.
You better tell me everything.
But Fine. I don't mean to be disrespectful towards him. But His Highness's behavior has been very peculiar recently. He sleeps very little, and goes out alone almost every night.
And it didn't occur to anyone that I should be informed?
Well, His Highness had specifically ordered us not to tell you about it.
And where does he go? I thought the days when he used to go from tavern to tavern were over.
He doesn't go to taverns, Your Excellency. From what I know, he goes outside the city.
Where could he go outside the city?
I've no idea. We saw him going north. That's all I know.
Listen, I understand this matter is putting you in a difficult situation. You were supposed to protect my cousin wherever he went, but he refused and ordered you to keep your mouth shut. But Constantine is not just my governor. He's my cousin. I'm worried about him. He's already been abducted once when leaving the city. So, if you know anything else...
I don't really know where he's going, Your Excellency. But I think I know where you could find out. When he doesn't leave the palace, he stays in his office for hours. He writes so much down in there that he could fill entire books. Here, I have the key. Take it. I hope you find His Highness and manage to make him see reason.
I don't like this at all. What could he be doing outside every night?
This boy has always behaved erratically. I'd love to believe that he's out meeting girls, but sadly I doubt it.
I'm starting to believe that the revelations of Enon Mil Frictamen had some truth to them. Let's rummage through his papers. We may find a clue.
cousin has descended into madness. But we can't let him kill these people simply because he's afraid they might have seen him.
May the trees on your road always bear fruit.
Thanks. You saved us. These beasts would have torn us to shreds.
These animals were strange, as if they were enraged. Thanks again, Renaigse.
I'm glad I could help you. And perhaps you can do me a favor in return. I'm looking for a young man, a Renaigse, but he looks a bit like an Onol Manawi.
Someone like you?
In some ways. But his marks are different, darker.
He's talking about the crazy Donegad.
Indeed, that might be him. Do you know where to find him?
No, we see him passing by around nightfall, but we don't know where he's going.
He walks along the path, often followed by some beasts.
He has a sinister look in his eyes. He scares me, so we stay hidden.
And you do well to hide. I think he's the one who sent these animals to attack you. Do you have any idea how I could figure out where he's going?
He could hide in the old house. He would see him passing by and could follow, couldn't he?
You're right. If you take this path to the right, you'll reach an abandoned house. You can hide there. And from up there, you will be able to see the path perfectly.
Thank you. You've been a great help. And stay hidden. You may still be in danger.
Be prudent, Onol Manawi.
You're very isolated here.
It's a long story.
When I was young, I thought as I had
So...
There. Do you want to know?
I'll leave you alone.
Do you want to know?
I'll leave you alone. We can't be seen from the path. Let's wait here to see where Constantine goes.
Here comes your cousin. In very strange company.
He opened the passage for himself here. Let's follow him, quick.
Constantine, what are you doing?
Cousin! You're here! I would have preferred that you learn all of this another way. To be able to reveal everything to you in better circumstances. But whatever power we earn, there are some things that escape us.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but what are you doing here?
I seem monstrous to you. I am well aware of that. But I promise to explain everything when the moment is right. Then you will understand. You will see. The temptation is so great to share all with you right now. You have done so much for me. You have given me so much. I haven't forgotten, believe me. But I still have more to do. Forgive me and have patience. Hold them back. But do not kill him for anything in the world.
Constantine, come back and explain yourself.
What's your cousin do to this lad? He's got the Sacharine. He will get him done.
He's gone mad. It's the only explanation.
Maybe enlightened will take me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
You saw him draw from me, steal my children, My guardians pervert my force.
Yes, but I don't understand.
What he wants: eternity, strength, power. It is what they all want. Those who take without looking beyond themselves. Like all those from the faraway lands.
He wasn't like that. He couldn't care less about all that.
Then it is the sickness, the brevity of his existence that terrified him to the point it changed who he is. You must stop him. Each time that he bonds, he destroys me a little more. And with me, the hope for a cure. And now it's my heart, my most sacred sanctuary that he covets. You must kill him.
That is madness.
The consequence of his folly, yes. Believe me, there is no other solution. Stop him, flesh of my earth, or there will be nothing left to save.
I still can't believe this.
I understand what you feel. I have trouble believing it myself, but Enon Milfrichtaman never lies. We need to stop your cousin by any means possible.
We must learn more if we want to understand his plans and prepare against them. This hiding place he was talking about in his notes. We must find it.
If he is as clever as I think, my child, there is a chance his guards will have been warned of our coming. We need to be prudent from now on, even if he is keen on sparing you.
I'm well aware. It is not just my life at stake.
And what hope do we have against all the creatures he is assembling? Give us your help, Illuminated, because the path is dark.
Allow me to be more pragmatic, Father. It's an army that we need. Allies. The natives will help us. Perhaps the Nords if we're able to convince the Admiral. We should also be able to count on Sieglinde. Her troops will be all the more welcome. And of course, we can also go and find the Mother Cardinal, as well as Governor Buren. What an absurd project. On the continent, they would brand us crazy, but not here. On an island where everything is possible, and all folly is accepted. Let us go. We need to put an end to all of this.